So let's head to the desert now, to Nevada, where tomorrow both political parties will hold their nominating caucuses. And let's just say that in a state that's home to legalized gambling and some other prohibited behaviors, campaigning is a bit different, as David Wright reports. And one note, David's been working 24 hours a day on the campaign trail. We hope you'll forgive him a little bit of laryngitis.
Fear and Loathing, 2008. Notes from the presidential campaign trail. This garish outpost in the Nevada desert is a world away from Iowa and New Hampshire. The ghost of Hunter S. Thompson looms large. Our guide in Sin City is Chris Parks, who at 28 is starting his third career. Until recently, he worked as a mortgage broker. The mortgage boom dried up last summer, so now he drives a limo.
You're going to vote on Saturday? You're going to participate in the caucuses?
I actually can't vote because I'm a convicted felon.
His first career, car thief, didn't work out too well either, but he's done his time, and come November, he should get his voting privileges back. Till then, he's just an interested bystander.
I probably would go for Obama.
You'd like to see him win, I said.
Probably, yeah. I'd like to see him win. Not saying that I like everything that he says, but yeah, I'd like to see him win. It would be nice to see a black man in the White House.
But he says here in Vegas, they didn't pay too much attention to what happened in New Hampshire. They were busy. The AVN Awards were in town, the porn equivalent of the Oscars. In Vegas, that's a very big deal.
So the porn convention coming to Vegas is a big deal.
Yes.
But the presidential candidates, not so much.
Not so much. Not so much.
Looking west from Las Vegas, Hunter Thompson imagined he glimpsed the high water mark of the 1960s, the place where the wave finally broke and rolled back.
Nevada's a different kind of place. I've heard all kinds of adjectives: peculiar, fascinating, bizarre, weird. It's all true.
The candidates are trying to break through and connect with an electorate dominated by Hispanic voters and union workers. Nevada is the fastest growing state in the nation, and all that development means heavy demand for energy, water, and other natural resources.
Nevadans really aren't aliens. They actually care about the same things that people in Iowa and New Hampshire care about: the war, the economy, health care, immigration. It's the same things.
But Nevada also has a consumer culture unlike any other state. Distractions aplenty. Nowhere is the American dream of instant wealth so immediate, so in your face. And there's the underbelly to all that, the dreamers who crapped out, the hangers-on who hung on too long. Not to mention the shift workers, punching the time clock in America's playground. For the first time, the big casinos are hosting huge caucus sites for them, so the union workers can vote. The presidential horse race, just one more game of chance.
This is something that I can always tell my children, tell my grandchildren. I went to a caucus in Las Vegas where they let us work and still attend a caucus.
At Sapphire's Gentlemen's Club, there's not much talk of politics. Ask someone here if they're Democrat or Republican, and the answer invariably sounds like a come on.
So now, are you guys Democrats or Republicans?
I would say nonpartisan. I'm not really partial to, I'm very open either. I'm not really anything.
You swing both ways.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
But some of them do plan to vote.
I'm all for Hillary.
I like Hillary. I think a female needs to be president. On Saturday, I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be supporting my candidate, Ron Paul.
Ron Paul. That's the name we keep hearing here. The libertarian congressman from Texas might just have a natural constituency here in Nevada.
Nevada is a very conservative state, but we also believe in live and let live. Don't bother anybody, we won't bother you. And that's what Ron Paul stands for, and I like that. Plus,
Dennis Hoff owns the Bunny Ranch, a legal brothel in Carson City made famous by the HBO series Cat House. Hoff first heard Ron Paul speak because of cable TV reporter Tucker Carlson.
Tucker Carlson's a regular customer?
Tucker Carlson is not a regular customer. Tucker Carlson took us to the press conference for Ron Paul, Air Force Amy, Brooke Taylor, and myself, and I liked what Ron Paul had to say.
The sight of this unlikely posse at a Republican press conference kind of upstaged the candidate, but Hoff was sold. These days he's pimping for Paul, spreading the word one customer at a time.
Now, I got to ask you about the sign back there. This is Ron Paul and...
Our favorite Rons, Ron Jeremy and Ron Paul. We love both of them. That's our buddies.
How do they measure up?
Well, I don't know how they measure up, actually. But if Ron Paul measured up like Ron Jeremy, he'd be quite the man.
It's no joke, as Air Force Amy took me aside to explain.
So I'll show you where I pimp for Paul.
Okay. She says she actually asks her clients to contribute to Ron Paul in lieu of giving her a tip.
It's very easy to ask for campaign contributions here.
How much is the biggest single donation?
The biggest single donation was $1,000.
Her colleague, Brooke Taylor, has given the whole thing serious thought.
I think that's really important. I think the euro is destroying us, and it's only going to get worse. I like what he has to say about health care. You know, we're independent contractors here, so finding health care can be really difficult, especially affordable health care.
She says the war in Iraq is also a huge issue for her.
Do you see some of those troops here?
I see many of those troops here. Well, and they're my peers. You know, these aren't people that are far off from me. You know, they could be my brother, they could be my, you know, my cousin, my friends. They're excited to be home. You know, they're excited to be, you know, around lovely women. But they're seeing and hearing and experiencing things that no human should have to go through.
I have to say, it's unsettling to be having this conversation in a room decorated with sex toys.
So what do you think about Hillary Clinton?
Honestly, I'm not a fan of Hillary Clinton for various reasons. I think it's modern-day monarchy to go from Bush, Clinton, Bush, Clinton. I think we can look outside of those two families.
She says if Ron Paul doesn't make it, she'll go for Obama. As we were packing up to go, 3 frat boys barreled in wearing homemade T-shirts. Pimpin' for Paul.
2 for 1.
Hoping to take advantage of the 2-for-1 deal they heard advertised.
Oh, well, hell yeah.
Politics Nevada style. Fear and loathing, indeed. I'm David Wright for Nightline in Sin City.
I like that. There's no place like Vegas. When we come back...